Well, welcome everybody to another Homespun, number 15. My goodness, how the time flies. And it's great to be with you again. Thank you for joining with us. Thank you for those of you who are joining for the first time. Thank you for those who have been with us over these many weeks. If I encounter disappointment, show me my life is in your hands. Those days I need to find assurance. Show me my life is in your hands. You spread a table out before me in the presence of my enemies. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. You hold my life. You hold my life. You hold my life in your hands. I'm through with chasing after shadows. Show me my life is in your hands. Don't let me worry about tomorrow. Show me my life is in your hands. You spread a table out before me in the presence of my enemies. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. You hold my life. You hold my life. You hold my life in your hands. You anoint my head with oil. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I'm trusting in your loving kindness, believing in the things you say. My daily bread will be provided, and I need never be afraid. You spread a table out before me in the presence of my enemies. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. You hold my life. You hold my life. You hold my life in your hands. Well, we had our poet Malcolm Guite with us last week talking about the Psalms, so I thought that would be a great start this week. A time again to remind ourselves of God's faithfulness and God's love. The Saviour's love is a love that is real. It never gives up. Whatever I feel, when skies are dark and the going is tough, one thing I know beyond all doubt, my God will be there.
Satisfied, my deliverer.
satisfy. Your power on earth could ever compare with the peace that you give and the hope that we share. Raised with Christ, I've nothing to fear. One thing I know, beyond all doubt, my God will be there. My deliverer, strong deliverer, only you alone can satisfy. My deliverer, strong deliverer, precious Jesus, bread of life. My deliverer, strong deliverer, only you alone can satisfy. Fragile though my faith has been, through challenges I've faced, one thing I've learned beyond all doubts, you'll always be there. My deliverer, strong deliverer, only you alone can satisfy. My deliverer, strong deliverer, precious Jesus, bread of life. Bread of life, precious Jesus. And I'm so grateful for all of you who do tune in week by week. It was Julie Hall who put a message up while I was singing to say some of you seem like old friends now, and I can see Roger Fisher from Doncaster, Jane Harvey, my goodness, Dan Shaw, yeah, all homespunners, and great to have you. Hey, Peter Gray from sunny Eastbourne. My goodness, up in Huddersfield, I see it's a bit chilly up there, and I think it's going to rain outside here today. But a big welcome to you, whether you're here for the first time or whether you're a well-seasoned campaigner. Special happy birthday to Evelyn Horsfall. Your birthday today, and our best wishes are with you. And John Dean, I was thinking of you Tuesday afternoon with the funeral of your dad in Solihull. I know many of you sent you messages while Homespun was going along last week, which was really great to see. It was Nick Oakes who wrote me a message last week to say, could you sing us some songs that you used to sing when you visited us at Writtle Agricultural College way back in 1976. Elaine Patience, great to see you. Dave Payne, my old roadie there, wow. 1976, my goodness. And well, I thought actually I would do a couple of those songs for you, Nick. Gordon Shewan, hi from Aberdeen. Yes, I don't know what the weather's like up there. We've got some from the Isle of Skye watching as well, which is great. And well, I'm going to tell you, let you into a secret actually, because in the coming week, Christine Birch from Leon C. The coming. I'm surprised you're not out on the beach today. In the coming weeks, we're going to go a bit international with Homespun. So I've got a couple of surprises in store for you over the coming weeks. So we're going to see that as being quite interesting. I see. Wet in Bristol. I feel like the weather reporter here. But anyway, Nick Oakes, great. Thank you for joining us every week. And this is a couple of songs I'm going to sing way back from 1976. Elaine Patience will remember the opening one because it's the opening track of an album that I know she's got. And I used to visit often Writtle Agricultural College with Nick Butterworth, a friend of mine. It's a song which I wrote with Nick, who went on to do great and wonderful things as an illustrator, written some wonderful children's books that have become world famous. And here we go. Someone came and opened up my door. Carpet of light rolled on the floor. Woke up like I never woke before. I'm walking in the sun forevermore. Well, I'm so glad you found me. I'm so glad you came my way. And when I turned to face the sun, a shadow went behind me, and then it ran away. All around me things look bleak and raw, but of this one thing I am sure. The winter of my soul began to thaw. Walking in the sun forevermore. Well, I'm so glad you found me. I'm so glad you came my way. And when I turned to face the sun, a shadow went behind me, and then it ran away. The clouds are a-gathering by the score. Stormy weather is in store. I hope not. Let the lightning flash, the thunder roll. I'm walking in the sun forevermore. Well, I'm so glad you found me. I'm so glad you came my way. And when I turned to face the sun, a shadow went behind me, and then it ran away. Someone came and opened up my door. Carpet of light rolled on the floor. Woke up like I never woke before. I'm walking in the sun forever. Walking in the sun forever. Walking in the sun forever. Wow, that's an oldie. Pat McIndoe bouncing or boiling. Oh. Well, anyway, well, that takes me back, and as does this one, because I remember singing this one. This was on my second album called Lift Me Up, and I'm so grateful for a Scottish journalist, Tom Morton, who really seemed to take to my music and was gave me some great encouragement in the things that he wrote about my early albums. I don't know what he thinks about my new ones, but anyway, this one, I remember singing this at the Wembley Arena, people bouncing around to that one, and Greenbelt Festival, wow, where we had the band and we really rocked it at that Sunday morning communion service. That was quite a sight to see. But anyway, well, I had a revelation, well, my eyes have seen. I've been down well, I had a revelation, well, my eyes have seen. an incorruptible heel. By his stripes I've been made clean, an incorruptible seed has been in my heart. There's a life inside me and it's wanting to grow. Well, there's no limit and there's no end of his great love. I know I can depend, no condemnation, in him I stand. I'm resting secure in the Father's hand. The Lord is good, the Lord is good. Oh, taste and see, the Lord is good. Oh yeah, you were there, Anne Manning. Shout it from the rooftops, lift your voice and sing, and together we'll make a highway for the King. Brought me out of darkness, brought me into his light. His love is all around, shining oh so bright. Greater love I never knew, perfect rest I found in you. The Lord is good, the Lord is good. Taste and see, the Lord is good. Shout it from the rooftops, lift your voice and sing, and together we'll make a highway for the King. The Lord is good, the Lord is good. Taste and see, the Lord is good. Shout it from the rooftops, lift your voice and sing, and together we'll make a highway for. One more time now, everybody, I want to hear. The Lord is good, the Lord is good. Taste and see, the Lord is good. Shout it from the rooftops, lift your voice and sing, and together we'll make a highway for the King. Oh, yeah. Ha! My, that brings back memories for some of you who are old enough to remember those things. Anne Manning, I probably wrote that song in your flat. My goodness. And that was quite a sight, I tell you, from the stage to see, I think 30 odd thousand people bopping around at Greenbelt Festival with my band. The Lord is good. Well, Kavita from Chennai, India. Wow, it's a privilege to have you with us, and thank you so much for joining. We've got matching tops as well, I could see. So, oh, mind you, that's a photograph of you. Lovely. Great memories of those times spent with you. But yeah, in the pipeline, and I hope you have looked back at Malcolm Guite and his not only his time with us speaking on Homespun, wasn't that great, that interview session, but I hope you've taken the opportunity to go back to visit the podcast We've got a couple up there already, Malcolm Geit and Ray Hughes, our good friend Ray Hughes, who's such a wonderful exponent and storyteller and person who understands the Psalms in such a rich way as well. We've got another one in the pipeline which is coming very, very soon in the next week or so, so do stay attuned. It's with Graham Kendrick, and we're going to be talking about songwriting and worship for all those of you who are into that, and I guess quite a few of you would be, because you're tuning into this particular channel right now. So that's been going to be great. It's going to be going up soon, and we've got more in the pipeline. Conversations to inspire and hopefully provoke us, not just celebrity conversations, but conversations to try and ignite something fresh and new within you. And I know Julie Hall wrote a poem as a result of dear old Malcolm. Craig Schneider from over there in the USA, wonderful. Thank you for joining us. It's great, and what a great ministry and powerful ministry you have, Craig, over there. I count it a privilege to know you as a friend. Anyway, I was talking about Graham Kendrick, and it reminded me of the days back when we hosted a conference together with a friend of mine, Ishmael. Some of you know Ishmael. He's a really old friend of mine, and has worked in such a wonderful ministry, particularly with children. And wow, it's a seasoned ministry. He's been sharing his songs and his music for nearly 50 years, and still full of life and vigour and joy. And occasionally he tunes in to our channel here, which is great. If you are, mate, all the best to you. But I remember we were at this Christian conference centre, and we've been there a few days talking about songwriting and talking about all the things that you do. And the morning sessions were full on with everyone. In the afternoon were breakout sessions. And Graham Kendrick was taking a breakout session, and Ishmael and I, we said to ourselves, let's set up the platform for something a little bit different. We'll do a little bit more of a concert tonight in this evening time when everybody's gathered together. So we will set the stage. Ishmael and I trying to arrange things in a practical way, not a good combination, I tell you. Because, you know, we were responsible for setting up the lights. So we set up the lights while everyone else was around in the sort of class, just starting this class with Graham Kendrick, who was speaking deep theological stuff about writing songs and all the rest. And we set up these lights, and blow me down, 2 or 3 minutes had gone past, and suddenly the fire alarm went off. And what was starting this? You know, the fire alarm went off, evacuated the building. 100 or so people had to, you know, go down to down the road to the sort of station calling point, and we all gathered together. Graham's seminar was disrupted. 2 fire engines came along, you know, ladders and all the rest, and off we went. And we discovered that what we'd done is put the lights right by the fire alarm and off the smoke alarm, and off they went, smoke alarm. We caused disruption, I tell you, and I'll tell you what, the 3 of us certainly did in those days, caused some disruption. You know, disruption is not always a bad thing. Sometimes in disruption, good things happen. I'm not sure Graham Kendrick was thinking that good things were happening in the midst of disruption at that time, because his seminar was disturbed. But sometimes good things happen in disruption. And there's a story in the book of Luke where Jesus is talking to these Pharisees, these learned religious men, these people of the status quo. And right in the midst of it, there is a disruption that is caused. A disruption that really shows us something of the heart and of the character of what God is about. Because right into the midst comes a woman, well, the theologians writing in their sort of Bible kind of terms would say, a woman of doubtful reputation came into the midst and came right to Jesus. And while he was talking to all these men who, you know, we would want to impress, because they were people of the establishment, they were people of influence, they were people who were the decision makers. Right in the midst of it came this woman of ill repute and did this amazing thing, broke open this alabaster jar where she had all her life savings and poured the oil over Jesus' feet. Not only that, but wiped her with her hair, his feet. And, you know, you can imagine the disciples, you can imagine the people who were of influence, these Pharisees, being shocked at this disruption to the scene where they got a chance to quiz Jesus, but he wasn't bothered. And you see something of the heart of God, that he reached out, and not only reached out, but welcomed the outcast. And he said an amazing thing, because she didn't pray the sinner's prayer as we know it, but he said to her, your sins have been forgiven because you have loved much. Because you've loved much. And as I was thinking about today, I was thinking about this whole thing about passion. That it's from our heart that God wants our worship to come and to rise. And we are going to move into some worship together in just a moment. But the heart of it really starts with this passion, a response to seeing who Jesus is. You know, it's no good me just talking about mechanics of worship, because if we're not careful, we just end up with another liturgy, another way to do it. Worship starts with an encounter. And this woman had seen something in Jesus that he'd not seen in anybody else. Something of compassion and grace and mercy. So I thought I'd sing this song, which I guess describes the scene. It's a sort of story type song. And bear with as I go through. And then we really zone into something a bit more. There's an ancient story that speaks of... Here we go, let's start again. There's an ancient story that makes me stop and think. It causes me to wonder and speaks of lasting peace, telling of forgiveness for the shameful wasted years of the one who came to worship with the perfume and the tears. Uninvited strangers need never feel afraid. No scandal or suspicion will make him turn away. Protocol was broken as sweet fragrance filled the air. God's pure love was seen so clearly through the perfume and the tears. Oh, how incredible that God so powerful should walk upon this earth and choose the vulnerable, the undesirable, to show the world his love. No one is excluded, unsuitable for God. He welcomes home the wounded and searches out the lost. Let Christ fill all my vision, be the one I hold most dear, and my worship have the passion of the perfume and the tears. Great. May my worship have the passion. Do you know I wrote 3 books about worship? Worship in the presence of God, worship and mission, worship and grace. I guess the foundations of what a life of worship means, and we're going to be exploring something of worship and mission next week. But this book, Worship in the Presence of God, I want to tell you this story, but I thought I'd actually read it out to you. Some of you may already have it, but let me read this. It was 3:30 on what had been up till then a rather unremarkable Tuesday afternoon when I received the phone call. We have a project that might be of interest in you using your songs over here in the States, said the caller. Trying to sound relaxed but with a glowing sense of urgency, I quickly scrolled down the address in Nashville where the record executive wanted my CD demo to be delivered. It was a few years ago before we started sending things over the internet. If it could be done promptly, that would be great, he said. This was terrific news for me. The market in the USA for worship music is huge, and the opportunities to increase profile for my ministry could be very worthwhile if my songs were accepted. It was a priority, something that could be done straight away. So hastily, I compiled a CD containing a selection of my songs I thought would be of interest, opened up a new jiffy bag, slotted the CD case inside, wrote down the address, bought the stamps, and popped them into the post. Done. There was still 10 minutes to go before the mail was collected. Job well done, I thought, my head swirling with grand illusions of the widespread approval of my songs that they would receive over across the pond, with the resulting increase in influence that will follow. Yes, it does happen to worship leaders as well. I strolled back to my house. Back inside, I decided to break for a well-earned cup of coffee when I spotted, to my horror, the newly burned CD of songs minus its case lying on the kitchen table. Shock! It should have been nestling safely in the jiffy bag in the postbox, but I had forgotten to actually put the thing in its case. Glancing at my watch, I abandoned my coffee, scooped up the CD and was off at a sprint back to the postbox. I arrived in time, caught my breath and tried not to look too embarrassed as the postman arrived, and I sheepishly informed him of my predicament, meekly requesting my package back so that I could insert the all-important CD. In short, the packaging was right, but something was very wrong inside. The most important ingredient was missing. It looked fine, but it wasn't going to be much use to anyone in Nashville. Actually, they never did use my songs, but the point is, sometimes all the packaging can be right, but there's something missing. All the worship practice we go through, all the rigour of setting up the stage, the platform and the lights and the smoke machines and the technology, but something can be missing. The presence. And our worship evokes for us a sense of the presence of God. Mandy, thank you for your message. I saw it just now. Very beautiful. And here this afternoon, just simply in our houses, with our laptops or our mobiles, let's just dial into that presence together, shall we? Here I am, in the silence, face to face with my God. I'm going to close the door to be alone with you. You must know my feelings. Nothing's hidden from your eyes. I'm going to close the door to be alone with you. I've been regretting the past and fearing the future. I'm in need of some grace today. Be who you are, my Father in heaven. Speak your love to my heart again. Here I am in the silence, face to face with my God. I'm going to close the door to be alone with you. You must know my feelings. Nothing's hidden from my eyes. I'm going to close the door to be alone with you. I've been regretting the past and fearing the future. I'm in need of some grace today. Be who you are, my Father in heaven. Speak your love to my heart again. Here I am in the silence, face to face with my God. I'm going to close the door to be alone with you. I'm closing the door and I'm alone with you. Creator of this amazing universe. Creator of the stars, of the sea, of the colours, of the diversity of the people in this world. Creator of the big, creator of the small. I'll give you my devotion. I'll lift my hands in praise. I'll serenade you as my God. I'll worship you, worship you, worship you. For your unfailing grace. Sing with me. I'll give you my devotion. I'll lift my hands in praise. I'll serenade you as my God. Worship you. as my God, I'll worship you, worship you, worship you, I'll worship you, I'll worship you, for your unfailing grace. Na, 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 na. I love them too, Jackie. Na, 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 na. Hi to you, Beth. Jesus, 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 how I love your name. Jesus, Jesus, how I love your name. The sweetest song on earth will never be enough to tell the wonders of your love. Come hide me in your arms and calm my restless heart. I hunger, Lord, for more of you. Jesus, 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 how I love your name. The sweetest song on earth will never be enough to tell the wonders of your love. Come hide me in your arms and calm my restless heart. I hunger, Lord, for more of you. Jesus, 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 how I love your name. Jesus, how I love your name. That's our worship. Remember, Jesus acknowledged and welcomed that poor, insignificant to many people, that woman, because she loved much. And it's the response of our heart, not just our brain, but the response of our heart that God looks. And as we offer that heart, so transformation begins. For all of you who are watching, it's been a joy to sing my songs to you again. Well, we think of all those people who are doing such magnificent work, you know, the shopkeepers, the hospital workers, we mustn't forget them. Those people in the care homes who are doing so much, the police out on the streets, we support you. This week, do stay safe. Yeah, follow the guidelines. Don't be silly. Don't go out onto Bournemouth Beach, please. Or Leon-Sea Beach. Mind you, the early morning probably okay, in the evening. But it's been a joy to be with you. Bless you all. And I pray for everybody who's watching. I pray that they will experience that heart encounter in a deeper, more meaningful way. that you'll entice them towards not only the truth, but the love that stands behind all that truth. Amen. Kenny Bothwick, I know you're watching, and wow, fond memories of Isle of Skye, of being on the Isle of Skye, and I enjoy your broadcasts too. Next week, do stay tuned, especially Kenny. Got a big surprise for you. It's going to be great. And I'm going to finish with one final song. Pat's writing me a note. I don't know what it says. Pat's writing me a note, and then mine probably say it's raining outside. Anyway, thank you, Pat, for all the work you do. Floor manager, sound woman last week. Well, we were disastrous last week, weren't we? Let's start. Oh my goodness. Thanks for staying with it. And for Jan down there in Somerset, the whole Bilbrough team, we appreciate you, and you are all part of that team, so stay tuned for next week. Passion, we were talking about passion. And, you know, our worship really comes from God himself, because that's the source of our passion. Paul says we can't pray properly, we can't intercede properly without the Spirit, and the Spirit works within us. Oh yes, Jane, it's intriguing, I tell you. There's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire, there's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire. Let the flame blaze higher and higher. Let the flame blaze within my soul. Let the flame blaze higher and higher, so it spreads and it grows. I think, here we go. There's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire, there's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire. Let the flame blaze higher and higher. Let the flame blaze within my soul. Let the flame blaze higher and higher, so it spreads and it grows. Come on again. There's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire. There's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire. Let the flame sprays higher and higher. Let the flame blaze within my soul. Let the flame blaze higher and higher, so it spreads and it grows. There's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire. There's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire. Let the flame blaze higher and higher. Let the flame blaze within my soul. Let the flame blaze higher and higher, so it spreads and it grows. Up we go again. There's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire. There's a secret fire burning in my heart. There's a secret fire. Let the flame blaze higher and higher. Let the flame blaze within my soul. Let the flame blaze higher and higher, so it spreads and it grows. Thanks for joining us. See you again next week. That'll be Homespun 16. God bless you all.